And in the second session, Juddtrump gets us underway, breaking off in the opening frame against Ronnie O'Sullivan for a place in the 2024 Shanghai Masters final match. Neil folds alongside me as O'Sullivan slots in an early red. It's going to be fascinating, Neil. Whenever these two go head-to-head, it's memorable.
Yeah, great occasion as ever here in Shanghai. He's been dominant, as Philip pointed out, in these exchanges, although for a while Trump was his nemesis, O'Sullivan's, but he turned it all around. Today's a new day. We don't know who's going to win, and there isn't anything between them, quite frankly, on their current form. I don't think. We don't know exactly the kind of form that O'Sullivan is in this season. We've seen 2 wins, but it doesn't mean he's playing at his brilliant best. That was not a very well played shot. He played it with lots of left-hand side, but he couldn't really avoid the bunch. So feast your eyes on this. It's going to be a terrific session, a terrific day in general. If it's anything as good as yesterday's semi-final, where Murphy was superb, Sean Murphy, in beating Mark Selby, we're in for an absolute treat. It's on that bottom red.
O'Sullivan now edges the head-to-head 16-13. But as mentioned, he's won the last 5. That's the most significant element coming into this match today, including, of course, his record equaling 7th World Championship back in 2022 when he won 18-13. Recovered from a wobble in the penultimate session when Trump came back at him hard, asked the question. But prior to that, of course, it was Trump who was getting on top of O'Sullivan more often than not. He won 3 consecutive Northern Ireland Opens against him in the final. And, of course, demolished him in the Masters final in 2019. So the tables have been turned in the last couple of seasons in O'Sullivan's favour.
It's quite a good split, quite
24.
Boldly into them, but I don't know if he's on anything very easily. He's looked at the red to left middle. It must be quite tight if it goes at all. Initially, I think a red to right middle was he was hoping for, but they're blocking each other, which makes me think that nothing is on. So the break ends rather unluckily, I think, because the split was quite well played.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 24.
Something he knew absolutely nothing about, and a little apology by raising his hand. The red just sort of squeezed off the side of the pack into that corner pocket. He would be unwilling to roll up unless he had no other shot. And he has no other shot. He's looked at the yellow, it's not on.
Juddtrump, 1.
It's quite difficult snooker to escape from and leave the balls in safe positions.
They met in the final in 2017 here, and it was a comfortable win on the day for O'Sullivan, 10-3. Trump, as mentioned, has 3 times made the title match in this event, but it's one of the few he's yet to claim. Lost that extraordinary final to John Higgins 12 years ago now, when he was 5-0 up, 7-2 up. Higgins made a maximum on his way to a final frame deciding win, and it was a similar story against Kyron Wilson. He was denied in a decider in 2015, the now world champion's maiden ranking title.
It looks like he's making an attempt to get to one of those two reds down the table, but the gap is not very big. The pink's kind of in the way.
Foul. And the miss.
So that's why he was
Juddtrump,
shaking his head. The natural path through of two cushions to the bottom reds was just where the pink was situated. Sometimes with this game, you know, people miss the little nudges. Sullivan got in, was unlucky not to be on a red to middle. The Trump safety shot was not very good, but he got the fluke, and now he is in prime position to take advantage through a little bit of good fortune.
Four. Five.
Hasn't been seriously tested so far, Juddtrump. That's surely going to change today. Took out Mark Williams with a couple of centuries, 6-2. Similar story against Si Jiahui.
10.
Turns 35 next month, Juddtrump, so he's still got bags of time. Already
11.
with 28 ranking titles to match the tally of the great Steve Davis, going for his 40th professional title this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you can say about the season to come, which we're just into now, is that this man is going to win something.
16.
And probably going to win more than just one event. He's going to win tournaments along the way, as he invariably does.
17.
Question of how many and how big the tournaments are going to be, more than anything else.
And in terms of being prolific, of course, these were the two standout players from last season. 5 titles apiece. Trump becoming only the 5th player to win 3 ranking titles in a row, put together a 22-match winning streak at one stage. And so it was a surprise when he struggled at the World
24.
Championship in his match against Jack Jones. And of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan was also beaten in the quarterfinals by Stuart Bingham. So the anticipated showdown never came to pass at the Crucible this time.
It's a brilliant pot. I must admit, I was surprised he played that red as opposed to the one down the left side of the table, because it looked more difficult, but it was beautifully struck. Yeah,
catching the jaw of that left corner pocket. He has.
1.
He'll try again, I think, to get to the right-hand red. And this time he's played it a lot better. That's a good shot. That was what he tried on the...
Down to these tighter frames as to who goes through to the title match tomorrow.
7.
Well, he wants black now, so he has to get behind this. Nothing wrong with that.
15.
Seeds. First blood then to Sullivan. Made a safety error, both having had chances previously. Very early stages, of course, though. First to 10 over 2 sessions. 8 more frames in this one. And a possible 10 in the evening session.
I think safety play actually is as important as anything on these scoring friendly tables. You've got to make sure the first chance goes your way rather than your opponent. This is snooker at the highest level, usually a chance given away makes you a second favourite in the frame. So these early exchanges are quite important before the chance comes. Knocking the blue awkwardly doesn't really help either of these two. O'Sullivan intent on covering that red up the table with the green, as he seems to have done.
One.
Oh, what a pot that is, goodness me. I think Ronnie was delighted with the safety shot he'd played. Just rolls that long red in. Brilliant shot.
Eight.
Well, as terrific as the first red was, that was a big surprise that he missed the next red he played. Bit awkward queuing, perhaps. Didn't get it thin enough, the pot.
One.
Now, is he going to get the bunch open here from green? Quite a big target. Not big enough.
Four.
It's almost a question of playing that shot a fraction slower so the backspin can take more readily and you end up going into them. He kind of slightly overhit it, perhaps. Peggy Lee very interested in how close O'Sullivan was to that blue ball with the sleeve of his shirt.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
One word for that shot, kick. Definitely a bad contact. Ball's jumped. It's a bit of a ragged start. A lot of anticipation on this match, but mistakes have been made both with pots and safety already.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
It's one of those shots. It was dead straight, but he hoped to pot it into one side of the pocket, and of course then the keeper would not have followed it in. So the errors continue. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good safety shot. He'd located an area on the table which he felt was going to be troublesome for his opponent. Now, while he's not in the world of trouble, he can get to reds. To escape back to the bulk area from there is not easy. Having a look at these two reds, would he even attempt the plant? With safety in mind, screwing it back? It's not really one of his shots, that, is it? I mean, he's not got the kind of cue power that maybe his opponent has got these days. But he had no other shot available to him. Trying to get back to a safe area has not worked.
One.
It was a spectacular return to the winner's enclosure for Trump last season, because, of course, the season before he didn't actually win a ranking event. He won the Masters for a second time without playing his very best snooker until the back end of the title match with Mark Williams, but ranking success eluded him. Last season, a very different story, of course. 5 more to the tally. He already owns the record of winning 6 in a single campaign.
Six.
That's pretty good. He's not absolutely behind the black, but it was very nicely steered through that opening and round the table. Had it gone 2 or 3 balls width further, it would have been A1. He's got to let the cue ball travel again here. Didn't mean it down that corner. Goodness me.
Foul.
All kinds going on here. The match has got so much potential, of course.
Juddtrump 6. Ronnie
Don't need me to tell
7.
you that, but just things are not quite unfolding as the players expect. It's a terrific red. This is not part of the plan.
Safety is obviously going to be a key.
Nice shot. He hoped to get the cue ball around the table, but of course he didn't. Once the pot goes in, it doesn't matter so much. And what a chance this is now. You can get from colour to red. Strong favourite in the frame. Not bad.
3.
Gonna use the rest or play right-handed. Well, a few chances have been squandered, but you won't want that to happen here. This is a wonderful opportunity. Red surrounding the black, all available, all of which will take him over the line.
Eleven. 12. 19.
A tour leading
20.
79 centuries for Juddtrump last season. At one stage, he looked as though he could be on to make 100 hundreds for the second time, having become the second player to achieve that after Neil Robertson. It was an extraordinary
27.
exhibition of consistency in these big events. Not just the 5 titles he won, he was runner-up in 3 others.
28. $35. 36.
So any colour with this red will be okay. That'll be too many.
43. $44.
Such a good opening red. He saw a way of getting the cue ball back, but as I say, he didn't quite manage that part of it. But the red flew in. Sense Snooker's needed.
2 of them.
Juddtrump.
Who knows, it could be a world final or something. But they're going to play each other again, and as we've said, you know, they've run up sequences of wins against each other, so in a big event like this, to get the upper hand might... That's a great pot. He's a terrific pot. And that cue ball...
Six. $14.
If you were compiling a list of the greatest long potters in the history of the game, Neil Robertson, certainly a candidate.
22.
Mark Williams and Ronnie O'Sullivan's long. But you just get the feeling that Trump is looking to push on in this session.
Yes, there's always the danger that you can
28.
almost win the match in session 1, isn't there, if you get such a huge lead. As I say, Mark Selby might have got there with a 7-2 lead yesterday, but the fact that he didn't get 7-2 might be the reason he's not in tomorrow's final. You don't think that there's going to ever be much between these two players, but you can never be sure of it. Now, is he going to try and get these reds open here? He's going to force this in if he is. Wow, he's got some cue powers now. I mean, he didn't...
34. 40. $41.
Yes, once again, top side. And such an easy shot to just run down on reds, which have been opened up due to that brilliant shot he played with all that force a few back.
47. 53.
Well, if you're sitting in Ronnie O'Sullivan's chair right now, this will be concerning. Trump, a brilliant red, and then the wonderful split of the bunch of reds to create this chance to extend his lead. It's not just
perfectly for either player, but there were chances squandered as well, or positionally, in the case of
61.
Trump. But I think he made the point. Pretty basic red to the right corner, and frame 4 now he's on the back foot, I think, as a consequence.
But Trump very much on the front foot. That's the ball he needed to ensure a 4-1 advantage. One more frame and he'll be guaranteed a lead going into session 2, but it could yet be sizable. That said, as mentioned earlier, he was 4-0.
4-frame lead, however. A lot of snooker to be played in these matches, but it's just a question. He needs to stop Juddtrump from playing quite like he is.
83.
Invariably, he just wins it every year. Being a little bit of doubt in these early frames, and that's going to continue.
91. 96.
He had no margin for error. Coming so close to the red had to be pinpoint.
97.
So a century is coming. And I said there would be about 4, and they'll stick by that in this match. Maybe even more than that.
101.
Scoring power of both of these two.
103.
Yeah, Trump is scary when he gets on a roll like this. Is the way he opened the reds. And the frames can fly by, just as similarities in terms of the way they approach the game. They're very different players, but in terms of their attacking intent, well, that's compelling. But what a break that was from Juddtrump.
Next frame highlight.
A really tangible advantage at the end of this session. We saw what happened yesterday when Mark Selby was on top of Sean Murphy, led 6-2. Significant. Trump caught that a bit thick, which is why the cue ball has caught the yellow.
Yeah, could have really done with that going in. And yeah, I mean, the plant was there, but he played it well and got this match so far.
7.
They're awkward. Although Trump is great at engineering something significant from a difficult century. And the previous frame was fantastic.
13.
Would bring the pink into play. Yeah. He only had one scoring ball at the top end, and of course that was the blue itself. Yeah, played it well. He had to hold there on this very fast bed. And a slow. This time he's overscrewed.
2016. But that record is incredible. Is that lead going to be? At the moment, O'Sullivan can't get involved. He's pretty much been glued to his chair since that 95 clearance to halve the deficit to 2-1.
37. 38. $45.
The significance of that, Trump has taken complete control.
$51.
Still got the early part of the frame before this this break ever started. They seem to have just managed to keep it time. Even
57.
here, it's been hard. So yeah, we're looking at completed, and O'Sullivan needs to win it. 2 of them at least.
64.
So he's not
20. $71.
Once he gets going, he's very difficult to stop, Juddtrump. Of course,
77.
O'Sullivan produced similar heroics, but red, he's not potted a ball.
$85. $93.
Great. Brilliant stuff. Judge
was always safe. He only got the black into play when the frame was won,
105.
but it's still a great achievement to knock in 3
114.
back-to-back singles.
120.
And there, Juddtrump playing beautifully.
120.
exhibition.
7.
A little straight on this. Probably the best he could do.
Juddtrump, 40.
Back down towards the blue on the return. He's avoided all that. That's a good shot. Significant. A great pot, and the cue ball was also pretty well played, because that was also
5.
It was a quite brilliant long red from Juddtrump. Didn't touch the sides, and we've seen so many of those down the years from him, not least in that World Final against John Higgins, when
12.
Higgins just could not hide the cue ball.
13. $20. 21.
yeah, just gone through the gap far enough. So it's okay.
28.
50-point lead and more to come, you feel here.
Just magnifies the
29.
significance of that.
Thanks. 44.
Applause for frame ball. Trump will be delighted with this. O'Sullivan made a 95 break,
49.
but aside from that, hasn't quite hit his straps as yet.
50.
I think the match will get better and better. I think these early frames, as we say, it's just a bit
56.
nervy for both players. You've got to sort of get your stamp on the match, and it's been quite hard for either to do it. But Judd is now beginning to do that. He's taken 3 of the frames, so he'll be more than happy, given he knows he can play better than this himself.
63. 64. 51.
Enough there for a 4th century of the tournament for Trump.
72.
In terms of rate of making centuries, he's right up there with O'Sullivan.
79.
Closing in on 1,000 for his career.
81.
Of course, he turned pro 13 years after his opponent today. Incredible talent.
80. 93.
This match.
99.
About 4 between Murphy, but this has been a much better break than anything that's come before.
106.
Frame number 7 highlights.
4. 12. 18. 30. 38. 46. 54. 62. 68.
68.
75. 76. 81. 82. 82. Frame count.
Frame number 8 highlights. Watch full video.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's free. One. Juddtrump. One. Five. 6. 1. 23. 30. 36. 44. 52. 59. 64.
'Frame number 9 highlights. Watch full video.
1. 9. 25.
Hello guys, subscribe to this Snooker channel highlights, like this video and press the bell icon.
40. 48. 56. 72. 78. 84. 4. Ronnie O'Sullivan 7, frame conceded.